Our Adult Noops Nation. My name is Reed Nelson. This is Luke Hanlon. Dream League Insider Recap Show. This is week 4. Quick reminder, we are off next week, Monday, February 8th. Instead, we'll be upstairs in the Lifetime Athletic Target Center bar watching the Timberwolves watch party. They will be playing the Pelicans. First beverage on Ultimate Hoops if you're in the Dream League. Alcoholic or non-alcoholic if you're under 21, and we'll also have some appetizers there. So no games next week, but we will be upstairs in the cafe getting to know each other a little better. So let's talk about the trade that happened. Keith Durham and Valentino Jackson went from the Polars to the Yellow Jackets for Rob Steeb and Jake Thompson. Initial thoughts on the trade were what?
Well, when I first heard it, it seemed like, everyone likes to say who got the best player usually wins the trade, and I thought Keith Durham's the best player in this trade involved, so it seemed like the Yellow Jackets, had the better of it. But having to take on Valentino Jackson, it seemed like the Polars had the better deal by getting Thompson and Steve together. That was my initial thoughts. After today's games, it's completely different.
Well, and that's exactly what I thought as well. And to boot, Jake Thompson started out the game and made like 3 straight threes or something, so he was finally shooting well. But the Polars end up losing. Keith Durham is Keith Durham, and Valentino Jackson ends up, having this awakening of some type. So I'm with you. I think Keith Durham's the best player in the trade, and if they get that Valentino Jackson for the rest of the season, they win the trade. The Yellow Jackets win the trade. Plus, the Yellow Jackets win tonight. Polars don't. But I think both teams are better, period. Yeah. And that's the point of a trade.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Both GMs definitely needed to make a move, specifically Kevin Chase. He did the right thing here. Obviously, I don't know what happened to Valentino Jackson, what got into him. He was playing like Dennis Rodman tonight with all that hustle. Came in huge, late with them, and was a big reason why they won tonight.
We had a chance to speak with Keith Durham and Valentino Jackson. Here's that interview now. All right, gentlemen. About 4 hours ago, you were both traded. Valentino Jackson, Keith Durham. Come on a little bit, Keith. You come here and you help propel the Yellow Jackets to their first win. You played out of your mind tonight. How does it feel? Were you pissed off?
I wasn't necessarily mad. The thing about it is, it's really, in a sense, I had to take responsibility for my actions because sometimes you got other things outside of life, and I know I can play a lot better than I can before. But the thing is, I just gotta keep. I know my game. I just gotta keep on going with it. You know what I'm saying? So,
what did you think, Keith, when you heard the news that you'd been traded?
I was surprised. I had no clue about it, actually. But, hey, it's a business, I guess. So you get traded, you got to play for the team you're on. So
you came into the Yellow Jackets were 0-3. They're 1-0 with you guys. What's your plan moving forward? We'll start with you, Valentino.
I'm just going to keep on working really hard. I feel like the thing about it is I feel like I do got a little something to prove at the same time because my expectations of people would think about me wasn't good the first 3 weeks. And me getting traded, that kind of boosted me up, gave me more motivation. So the thing about it is I just got to keep, pushing hard. Everybody like how I play. I'm not a 100% scorer, but I know I can hustle my butt off, So.
And how about you, Keith?
For me, personally, defense. I keep getting called on fouls. So, I got to play better defense and not open up my offensive game. So that's what I'm going to work on.
Well, so far the trade has worked out really well for Kevin Chase. He's 0-3 without you guys, now 1-0 with you guys. So congratulations. Enjoy the break. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. That was Keith Durham, Valentino Jackson. I think, they have to feel two of the best tonight because they get shipped from a 2-1 team to an 0-3 team, and then they go out and win against a good Generals team. That was probably the best game of the season so far, just from an entertainment factor. First off, we've got the Yellow Jackets in yellow versus the bright orange Generals. It was just like this sea of color, but it was just an excellent game. Let's go back to the first game of the night. Polars, they had the Knights going all game, and then it fell apart for them at the end. Talk a bit about that, the win tonight for the Knights, who go to now 3-0.
Well, you say that the Generals, the Yellow Jackets, was a great game. Let's not forget about the first game. That was a big primetime matchup between two very good teams at the top of this league. Looking like the Knights were going to come out, and you knew the Polars would keep it close. Probably should have been a Polars win, going back and forth the whole game. Antoine Lynch again proving why people should have drafted him higher. Bronson Byrne again being a little disappointing, looking like another kind of a bust game for him.
But he looked a little bit possessed as well.
He did.
In a good way.
He was better later on in the game because, first off, Lynch was definitely getting the better of him in the first half, but later on he was making good buckets, going down low, bullying a little bit Antoine Lynch. He wasn't taking his crap all game. But, I mean, in the end, Antoine made the clutch three, won him the game, cooked down the floor. It was a great game overall, really entertaining throughout.
Yeah, and we're running that Antoine Lynch 3 right now. Bronson looks like a player who has been listening to everything we've been saying about him, which is great. So Antoine Lynch with the game winner. Plus, we had an opportunity to chat with Polars GM Sonny Young-Graves about that trade earlier today. Here's Sonny. All right, I'm here with Polars General Manager Sonny Young-Graves. You pulled off a trade today. Talk a little bit about how it came together.
Well, Kevin contacted me last week about wanting Keith for Rob. And I know salaries wouldn't work, so I had to do some finagling throughout the day today trying to pull it off.
So I feel like there was a sense amongst the people of Ultimate Hoops that you had won the trade going into today. How do you feel right now?
I still feel the upside. I mean, you got to look at the fact of the players coming from his team feel more relieved, because they're 0-3. They feel like they're coming to a better team. They know more of the players, kind of. Jake's played with Tony in Bloomington South. Rod's played with Munsell back in Bloomington South top flight league. So they feel a little bit more relieved, and the players I sent off have a vengeance.
I was going to say, Valentino Jackson didn't look like the Valentino Jackson we've seen the last 3 weeks tonight. Talk about what you saw from him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the stuff that we've talked about the last 3 weeks. We're actually working out over the weekend about trying to improve, and even one play I saw was he took a three. I told him if it feels off, you chase it, and that's exactly what he did. Got the rebound. They got 3 points out of it.
Do you feel as though there's more? Okay, so you guys kind of broke the seal with this first trade. Yeah. Do you feel like this is going to help open things up a little bit for the rest of the league?
Kind of, but I can only see, I would see like the 5 teams switching. I don't see Izzy or Helmy really trading anyone, because I mean they did draft a core of people that normally either play together, or Izzy was always lucky enough to get that core that actually meshed right away. So
thank you, Sonny. Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the season.
More trades to come.
That was Sonny Young-Graves. Again, I think he feels good about the trade. And he or Brian had made a point, I think in 3 years, they believe Keith Durham is the best long-term project. They think Steve's the best player. Now, I disagree. I think Durham's the best player right now in that trade, but that's just me. So, second game, Generals, Yellow Jackets back and forth all game long. Yellow Jackets, they pulled away late. I want to say they won by 7 or 8.
9 or 10.
Talk about this game.
Really, I mean, very entertaining. We said throughout, back and forth throughout the game. Finally, Mullen Thomas realizes when he's in the post, he's a great player. Attacked the basket, was really good offensively, good defensively, of course. Needs again to shy away from that long-range shot. Michael Thomas was just as good on the other end, making good shots back and forth. I mean, I don't know. It was just a crazy game. Brendan Johnson, again, struggled a little bit. Brendan Williams was all over the place. A lot of good performances from a lot of good players that were out there. And 2 struggling teams, now both with 1 win. And we'll see. That'll be a big jump in the power rankings this week.
Yeah, I was just going to say, the Generals look great. Yeah. The Yellow Jackets look great. Both of those teams are jumping in the power rankings significantly. And, I mean, you can't jump much higher than, I guess, they were at 6 and 5 respectively. I had the Generals at 4, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We had an opportunity to talk with Kevin Chase, or Kevin had an opportunity to talk at me. So here is Kevin Chase discussing the trade from earlier today. You got to feel pretty good.
Well, when you come out of a win on the first trade ever, that's helpful. Primarily, though, because we don't have overlapping of players that are playing the same position, and that was kind of my problem. I was hoping we can get some guys to play different than what they were, but we had John Jones, Abdi, Rob, and then Jake T. They're kind of all playing the same position, like two point guards, 2 shooting guards, combo guards, whatever you want to call them. And we weren't gelling. We weren't having somebody doing the nitty-gritty, dirty work, getting offensive boards, setting screens, and we weren't having the athletic slasher that we needed. So, and that was the thing we're missing. We need some athleticism, we need some rebounding, and we need somebody to set screens. And we had too many guys that benefit from that without having more than probably Mo or even Jake Alexander, or Ruland, whatever he is under the system. I can't remember. But in essence, those two guys having to do it. But then what do we have if they're setting that screen? So we're losing their ability to own their space on the court and do what they do best.
What's it going to take for you to continue to get what you got out of Valentino Jackson tonight for the rest of the season?
I don't think I need to do anything. I think it's all self-motivating for him. If he's got an open shot and he's going to take it, by all means take it. If he knows it's off, go chase it. And this is kind of something Sonny and I were talking about, and I know Sonny was talking to him about. But when we got Mo in the paint, able to offensively board like he is, that Keith Durham, man, that kid's good. He's athletic, and he can offensively hit the glass too. Our Jake Alexander, the one we kept, he can offensive board too. So I'm okay if he misses shots. Just need that energy on the defensive side, setting screens, and I don't think I need to worry about that, honestly.
I had sort of reported that Rob was wearing on players within the Yellow Jackets organization. What did you see, or did that have anything to do with this trade?
Maybe some players, maybe a little bit, but I think what was more wearing on people wasn't necessarily Rob. It was the situation we were in was wearing on the players. And Rob was the one voicing his displeasure. And it's not like I didn't disagree with him. I wholeheartedly agreed with him. We weren't playing the style that we needed. We weren't playing defense first. We weren't hustling to the ball. We weren't getting the rebounds. We weren't doing the dirty work. I mean, we had Ernesto doing the dirty work, but he's given up a lot of size for a guy to do dirty work. He's not going to be able to, if he's got to go chase a loose ball around with Curtis Hughes or even Ross Winnikin, some just the bigger dudes. I mean, he's not gonna beat him up for it. So I think that was what was frustrating because of what we needed. We didn't have it, and Jake wasn't getting any shots for us. But tonight, I guess Sonny said he came out, started the game, got a good quick 11 points in that first half. And Jake hasn't had that because the shot hasn't been on, but he hasn't been able to get the shot that he needs. So I don't think it was Rob wearing on the team. And if anybody on my team feels that way, I didn't hear it from anybody personally. So I don't think that was the case. I just think it was situational.
Well, congratulations on getting the win. Happy for you guys, and good luck the next couple of weeks, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That was General Manager Kevin Chase of the Yellow Jackets. Again, he's happy. Everyone's happy. Both teams are better. That's the point of a trade. Both teams who make the trade are better. All the other 5 teams should be looking at darn, we missed out on an opportunity. Last game of the night, Mustangs held control throughout most of it. I don't know what to make of the end of this game. The Griffins were up 3, I want to say, with maybe 25 or so seconds. They were down 3 with 25 or so seconds, and they're just like, go ahead and score. And I'm running the video now, and I wish I were joking. That they were like, yeah, go ahead, we're good. We're good back here at half court. You just go ahead and score. It was the strangest thing. It was like they weren't even trying. They were walking up the court.
I mean, you say you can't make sense of the last. I can't make sense of the Griffins because there was times in this game where they go on 8 to 10 point runs. It seems like they're going to take over this game, and then they just all out completely stop playing defense. They had no flow offensively, continuously. Johnny Ball can take over a game and then cannot score for so long periods of time. Really just kind of a mess. They proved it again. They're the only winless team now in the Dream League. At the end of that game, like you said, really just poor effort defensively. They don't seem to have good communication throughout the game, and then the end of the game, that's where it killed them. And there was a big reason, probably the biggest reason why they lost easily.
Well, and we have Johnny Ball down here chucking up a 3, and we're like, well, where have we seen this before? Oh, yeah, week 1 and week 2. So it's like they have all the talent in the world, and I think Omar is going to be a huge addition to them. And they looked better.
Yeah, he helps.
But the last minute of the game was a disaster.
Yeah, all around just debacle for them. Where they go from here, I'm not sure. Still 0-3, not done. The season's by far not over. They have talent, like you said. They could still go off and win maybe 3-4 games. We're not sure. They have to figure something out, though.
Well, there's some rumors, and I'll call them rumors, that they were also trying to acquire Keith Durham. So, we'll see what happens if they try to make a move as well. Great week 4. We're off next week again. Timberwolves watch party. You'll be joining the podcast on Thursday. I'm assuming we're going to have a ton to talk about. Thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. We will chat with you very soon.